And a good Monday night to you. It's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show live from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon. And we appreciate you joining us here on the program. And, of course, I want to thank our great sponsors, Griffin Insurance, of course, Pizza Cottage, among them, Knox County Veteran Services as well. And we're going to be talking about our great sponsors throughout the entire show and looking forward to talking some football here tonight as we are getting towards the end right now. This is week number 9, and then we have one more week of the regular season, and then hopefully for Fredericktown and Centerburg, there's more football ahead too. But we appreciate the Fredericktown Freddies and Centerburg Trojans joining us here tonight from the Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon. Well, the Fredericktown Freddies, we talked about it before that sometimes, especially when you get into like a postseason type situation, it's when you get hot is when it matters. If you get hot at the end of the season and you're starting to roll and things are starting to click a little bit, you can have a lot of success. You've won 4 of your last 5 here, Will, and we're going to be talking about the matchup this Friday night. And I'm not saying it's the biggest game of the year, but, guys, it's the biggest game of the year. So it's a big ball game, and it's not easy to win at Danville, as we saw from Centerburg, that it is a difficult place to win at. But we're going to be talking about that. But we appreciate Will Hartley joining us here on the program, and also Jonathan Burns and Devin Witt are with us as well. And we like it. You kind of have red hair, right? Is that red hair? Yeah, that's what I thought. My son's redheaded, so, yeah, we like the redheads. We appreciate you guys joining us. Coach, when we went into this year, there were a lot of expectations for this Fredericktown team. You brought a lot of guys back, and when you bring a lot of guys back and you have some experience, it's not a deer in the headlights thing when you get under the Friday night lights. And you guys seem to have taken to it here these last few weeks where you're figuring out maybe your identity and you're winning football games, Coach.
Yeah, I think so. As we've been talking throughout the season, early on we had a couple issues with the offensive line with some injuries, and then over the last month, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, we finally got that offensive line that we envisioned way back in the off season, and I think it's really paid dividends for us. We're running the ball really well. We're getting really good movement up front. We're able to the backs are really able to find a lot of openings, and then we're also able to get the passing game going as well. So I think offensively we're really coming into our own. Now defensively we've been playing well all year, and they just really have been very consistent for the most part all season defensively.
And when you went into this year, what did you want from this group? I mean, was it, hey, be in the situation you're in right now that, hey, you do need a little bit of help because Northmore's had a great season, but the K-Macs overall been really competitive this year. But here you are in week number 9. You're still in this thing, a chance to win a conference championship, Will.
Yeah, every year you look at it and you get to October and you want to be playing important games in October, and I think that's all you can ask for as a team, as a program, and here we are again, and as you mentioned, we got nothing bigger than this game down at Danville on Friday night.
Again, Will Hartley, we appreciate him joining us. Jonathan Burns here with us. What year are you in school, Jonathan?
I'm a senior.
Senior year, so you're about to wrap it all up, but hopefully not for several weeks. How about that? As you go into this year and you look at this team, where have you maybe seen the biggest growth throughout the year? I mean, we mentioned that you guys won 4 of your last 5, and things starting to click a little bit. Where have you seen the most growth with this team?
Really the whole cohesiveness of the whole O-line, just as a unit, playing together, communicating, having guys week in and week out just be the same. That's helped a lot.
Yeah. Are you on the offensive line?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. What position you play on the offensive line?
Left tackle.
Left tackle. So that's the blind side.
Yeah.
All right, you protected the blind side there. Hey, when you think about an offensive line, Brian Gaston, and he's my co-host on Sports Roundtable, and I talk so often that if you don't have an offensive line, you got to forget about it. You don't have much of a chance because you guys are going to get to the quarterback. You're not going to have a rushing attack. You're going to be in a lot of trouble there. When you look at the importance of the offensive line, you talk about that cohesiveness. What brings you guys together? Is it just are you all seniors on the line? What brings you guys together?
I mean, we're just a tight-knit group. We do a lot of stuff together. A lot of us have been playing together since Willie Davis in elementary school.
Yeah.
So we're able to, each other. It helps to know what motivates the guys around you, what gets them going, get them fired up, and just as a whole, I think we're just really like a family.
You know, a lot of people think that offensive linemen just go up there and just start pushing people around, but in reality, there's a lot of strategy to it. There's a lot of technique to it. You don't just go, oh, I think I'm bigger than this guy, I'll just push him back. There's a lot of technique to it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it does help to be bigger, but
Yeah, I know, yeah.
for sure. There's a lot of those small things,
Yeah.
you know, everything right.
Yeah. Devin Witt's there at the end. What year are you in school, Devin?
I'm also a senior.
Senior year. You play on the offensive line?
I do.
All right, we got to talk about that offensive line some more. I want to ask you kind of the same thing. When you talk about cohesiveness and everything, what brings this team together in terms of the offensive line, and then that kind of opens it up for everybody else?
We've going off what JB said. We've played together forever, so we're really close to each other. We usually don't fight.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Sometimes a little competitiveness doesn't hurt.
There's some moments.
There's some moments. Hey, you know what? That's good for them, though. What position do you play on the offensive line?
Well, kind of everything.
You move around.
But right tackle.
All right, right tackle, left tackle. You got to move guys around. When you have consistency on the offensive line, Coach, you have guys like Jonathan, you have guys like Devin, that you know that, hey, this is what we're counting on. You talked about it to me in the summer. He said if we have the guys we envision up front, we can have a really successful season. And in high school, guys get hurt, and it's next man up just like anywhere else. But it's hard when you don't have those guys that are there that you anticipated to be there at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Devin brings up a good point. I think Devin's played 3 positions on offensive line this year. He's played guard, tackle, and he started a game at center as well. So, yeah, that's not that's not necessarily going to be winning football when you got to move pieces and parts around that much. So it's just, I guess having your offensive line and that unit together and that consistency and that cohesion, it's really similar to having like your quarterback in place. Like you think of that group as just being like one piece. Mm-hmm. And it's great that, and again, what the boys talked about is the experience. I mean, we're seniors across the board up front, including our tight end as a senior. So it's a group that they played a lot of football together. A lot of them have been contributors for 2, maybe 3 years at the varsity level. So, yeah, a great deal of experience. And as you were talking about, I mean, there's a lot of mental processing that goes on the offensive line. It takes a lot of communication. It takes a lot of drill and practice to really get those to hone those mental skills down as well as the physical ones.
You guys look at it, and Jonathan, you guys start the year with a win, a 2-point win, good win against Highland. Highland is 3-5, but they have a brutal schedule this year, so that's a good football team there too. Then you guys lose a couple in a row, and before you get into conference play, what was kind of the message from Coach and maybe the message across the board that, hey, we're 1-2 right now, a lot of expectations as we talked about, and you guys are doing a great job here. What was the message being 1-2 going into conference play?
I mean, all about turning that fresh page going into week 4, the conference opener. But in the games behind us, there were close losses. Mm-hmm. So, you don't have you didn't get blown out.
Yeah.
There's small things that you just got to improve on to help you keep moving forward. And, team motto, raise the standard. It was all about, pushing yourself and just as a whole being better as a team playing together.
You guys got it figured out. Like I say, you've won 4 of your last 5. And, when you think about it, Devin, you get into it, you beat Cardington Lincoln 45-18. You guys had a good game that night, and they've got some talent on that Cardington Lincoln team. I mean, Wyatt Denny's no joke in the backfield, and that's a good football team. Did you guys feel like you could almost the weight go off your shoulders when you go, okay, we're 1-2, but now we just won a big conference game to open up, and okay, things are falling into place now?
Yeah, we felt amazing. We up front we were really good. We just better, talented, more talented.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Will, as we look at that game, and I want to just look at that because you're 1-2. That's a weird place to be in because if you fall to 1-3, now it's kind of like okay, not necessarily push the panic button, but you only play 10 football games here, so. What changed going into that ball game, and then it kind of led into now where, like I mentioned, you've won 4 of your last 5 ball games?
Well, I think going into week 4, it's kind of what JB said, that you just had to turn a new page because you didn't want to allow one loss, which the Utica game was a very disappointing loss, and it would have been really easy to just kind of hang your head and sulk and allow that to dwell throughout the week leading into the league opener. And we couldn't allow that to happen. We knew that we had we obviously had some potential, and we should be winning some football games. It was just kind of the little things. We were having maybe an inopportune penalty or not finish a drive here, maybe a turnover. So it was just those little things that we just had to clean up. So that was really the focus. Turn the page, clean up the little things, be confident in what you're doing, because you know you guys we're talented enough here. And let's start out the league on a fresh slate.
Obviously, you have to go back several weeks here, but what stood out in that Cardington-Lincoln game where you dropped 45 points? That's the most points you've scored in a ball game all season long. When you're 1-2, what stood out in that ball game as you pick up that confidence?
Well, I mean, Sipes just had he was really explosive that night. I think he might have had 4. Again, it's a long way back.
Sure.
There's been a lot of football between
sure.
then and now. But I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns, and I think they were all, at least 3 of them were over 40 yards. So he was really explosive. And we needed that. I was it brought a lot of energy. And as you said, Denny got his yards, but for the most part, we contained him as far as keeping him off the scoreboard.
It was that important? I mean, a guy like Denny, just as much as a guy like Sipes, you're not going to stop him, but to contain him and make sure, hey, he gets his yards, but you take care of business in that regard. And I know we're going to talk about the game against East Knox that you guys won 31-0. It's kind of the same thing with Blake Kelly. You know he's going to get his yards, but don't let him bust off anything big. Was that kind of the situation when you faced Wyatt Denning there in that Week 4 game? And, again, was that maybe the turning point for you guys? Maybe it wasn't for you guys, but certainly a big win to start conference play.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at it that way. It was a big win to start the conference, and it just I think it just reassured and settled everybody down that, hey, you know, there's a lot of football. We've had a couple setbacks here early. There's a lot of football to play. If we play to our potential, we take care of business, that there's going to be a lot of exciting moments like there was on that night.
All right, of course, we're going to be talking about the ball game against East Knox, a 31-0 win last Friday night. And, of course, they're going to be talking about the game this Friday. It's a biggie. And we're going to be out there at WMBO's Facebook page, so that'll be a great time this upcoming Friday night. We do want to thank Page One Group. You see the mugs here. I think Will has 19 mugs in his cupboard now.
Not quite.
Yeah, getting there, though. I don't think your wife probably wants you to bring any more mugs home, does she?
Devin was excited about getting his second one.
Getting your second one. What, you use up the other one? You break the handle off or something? You're like a strong guy.
He was really excited about it.
Did you break off the handle?
I wasn't that exciting.
He's pumped. He said he's going to pour his pop into the mug after this segment. But we certainly appreciate the Page One Group here, Pizza Cottage, of course, where we're at tonight, and their hospitality, Knox County Veteran Services. And we certainly appreciate Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Tonight we're only on WMVO's Facebook page, not on the radio, as the Cleveland Guardians play Game 1 of the American League Championship Series tonight against the New York Yankees. But we appreciate you joining us here on WMVO's Facebook page. Let's take this break. We'll come back. More of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community, offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel. Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
Cottage Electric and Plumbing is a proud sponsor of The Ohio State University.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products is how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 or visit us at 10 East Vine Street.
All right, we're back here at Pizza Cottage, and you can stop by and try their BLT pizza. That's my favorite thing. You ever had a BLT pizza? Well,
No, I have not. That does sound pretty intriguing.
It's pretty awesome. You got to try it. It's a real deal. Come to the Pizza Cottage, South Main Street in Mount Vernon. And, of course, one thing, Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Page One Group with the mugs here. I was going to have Devin over there model it, but he's not going to do it. But so a few of our great sponsors, Knox County Veteran Services, of course, Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor. Well, the Fredericktown Freddies were victorious on Friday night. You guys won at 31-0 over the East Knox Bulldogs. And, again, this is a competitive conference. I mean, East Knox they came in at 4-3, and last Friday was a really big night across the board in the Knox Memorial Athletic Conference because, in reality, for the most part, not completely, but it was almost like an elimination game in two of the games because now Mount Gilead almost knocked off Northmore for you. That would have helped you a little bit, but that didn't happen. But it was almost an elimination game because now a lot of things have to happen for those teams that have the two losses. But you guys went in and you took care of business on senior night, 31-0, Coach. And when you look at that game, I know there were some big defensive plays for you guys. You guys made big plays. In a game like that, in a big game like that, you need some things to go your way, some defensive plays, and you know, sometimes it's special teams and things. But you guys stepped up on Friday night, on senior night, and got a big win against East Knox.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. What you mentioned about the defensive plays was huge. We're up 6-0, and we got a big sack. Kirk Parker, one of our outside linebackers, stripped the ball, and then Cooper Rocker, who's playing defensive line, he picked it up and took it in from about 20 yards.
Yeah.
So then it was 12-0. Then we had a nice offensive drive, scored 18-0. Right before the half, East Knox started to get some momentum, and they started to run the ball and get into their comfort zone. They had a nice drive going, and they got clear down to the 20-yard line, and it was under a minute. And we had that interception by Brody Davis. It was just a great tip ball, and he was just in the right place at the right time, came across, made a great play. Sometimes the ball bounces your way, and it definitely did on that play. And he took it to the house. Well, it was about an 85-yard return for touchdown. So that was just a huge flip in momentum. It was really like, you know, they might not have scored there, but they were getting pretty close. So it was almost like it was a 14-point swing on that single play. And that really sapped the energy and momentum from East Knox as we went into halftime. It re-energized our team, and we were able to take that into halftime. We were getting the ball at the beginning of the second half. We had another nice drive, scored, and then it's running clock from there on out. So for us, it was just one of those nights where everything the ball really seemed to bounce our way all night.
Yeah. Jonathan, when you look at that ball game, what stood out to you in the win against the East Knox Bulldogs last Friday night and on your senior night? So big night there.
Yeah. Probably just we were stout all night. Everybody just came out firing on all cylinders. You know, having those big turnovers was huge. That's something we haven't done a lot this year, was having that many turnovers for us. But you know, we played a really good game defensively, and that helped deliver us the win.
Yeah. And Devin, you look at that game. What stood out to you in the win against East Knox?
I don't know how to word that. We just came to play.
Yeah.
Everybody took stuff personal because social media stuff going around.
Okay.
Everybody was really mad.
I won't get into all that stuff, but I did hear some other stuff that had happened in other games too. So some guy called and he was like, "Oh, this was on Instagram." I don't have an Instagram, so I don't know a lot of what happened there. Well, when you think about a night like that, Nevin, it's a senior night. It's emotional. How do you contain yourself on an emotional night like that? And it's the final, possibly the final home game of your career. What goes through your mind before that ball game and before that first kickoff?
I don't know. Sorry.
Is it an exciting time for you?
It was exciting.
Was homecoming more exciting or this? What was going to the homecoming dance or going to play on a Friday?
Definitely senior night.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
There we go. Jonathan, do you think about a game like that, the energy that goes into a night like that, and you guys take care of business, how much energy does that bring as you lead into a huge week against the Danville Blue Devils?
Yeah, it gives us a lot of energy. We're fired up. This is a tough 3-game stretch here, end of the year, and to be able to have a game like that is great for the team.
Well, you just kind of heard it from Jonathan there. You guys it is pretty difficult here at the end of the season. You got Danville, and then you got to go to Centerburg. I can give you directions there if you need directions to Centerburg. Yeah. But otherwise, I always try to say, and I'll ask you about computer points too, but you get towards the end of the year, and you have these in front of you. It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity for you guys, right? Yeah. As you get to – so you look at this 3-game stretch, what's been the message to you guys prior to even when you took on East Knox and now leading into Danville week?
Well, you don't even really need to look at playoffs and playoff scenarios. You've got the 4 Knox County schools, and they're all going at it over the last 3 weeks. So, it's and they're all having respectable years. They're all tough teams again this year. So it doesn't take much to get these kids fired up. And they're tough games, but they're also backyard rival games. They should all be competitive games. And, you just take it one game at a time. So we got East Knox, had a lot of breaks go our way, played really great, took advantage of those breaks. And then here we got another opportunity on Friday to go down to Danville and have another real productive night down there.
No, it's a Monday, Coach. I know there are probably some things in that East Knox game, despite a 31-0 win. Yeah. You're coach. You're going to find some things in there. What were some of the things that you pointed out to the guys leading into this week that you wanted to work on leading into this big game against Danville?
Well, one of the biggest things we've got to continue to become a more physical team, both offensively and defensively, because the next 2 weeks are going to be real physical tests. And we just got to continue to just try and stretch ourselves offensively. You're always putting in a couple new installs each and every week and trying to take advantage of things that you see. Always striving to become more balanced and definitely work on our protections and the passing game and route running and all those types of things, because the more balanced you are, the tougher you are to stop. So I think probably still that just trying to keep and push the needle and get better offensively, and then just becoming a more physical team week in and week out.
You send the box scores to me every weekend, and it's cool. I kind of look through them, and there are games where I see, like, Blake will maybe have a good running game or he'll have a good passing game and things, and a lot of times it's one or the other and things like that. But and he's had a great season to this point, but to have that option, both throwing the football and running the football, and having this offensive line now gelling together, this could be a great time for the Fredericktown Freddies down the stretch, couldn't it?
Yeah, again, going back to the motto, just raise the standard.
Yeah.
We said that as we started this 3-game stretch against the county schools, that this is the time where we can really raise the standard. There's a lot to play for. There's playoffs. There's potentially still an outside shot at the league. There's a clean-cut winning record to be had as well. There's the Freddyburg Trophy to play for. There's an opportunity to go down to Danville, and I believe that they have not lost at home since 2022.
That's correct.
So, there's just there's a ton to play for. It's exciting, and hopefully the kids make the most out of those opportunities.
Yeah, last time they lost at home was in 2022, about this same time against Centerburg out there. So, Jonathan, when you look at this three game stretch, and now it's down to 2 games now after you beat East Knox here, these 2 games ahead of you, what do you want to see out of your offensive line group and the team as a whole as you try to finish strong and get yourself a playoff spot?
Yeah, definitely, as Coach said, just the physicality, just keep getting more and more physical week in, week out. I mean, that's the biggest thing to these kind of teams. You know, you got to match their physicality or even raise it.
Yeah.
But
Devin, when you look at it, what are the keys for these last 2 games of the regular season against Danville, against Centerburg? Coach mentioned it. Jonathan mentioned there. This physical football team, Centerburg and Danville. What are the keys here?
We just up front. We need to be really consistent.
Yeah.
We've struggled at times with that, but when we're consistent, we move the ball pretty well.
And is it hard when you got a guy like Blake Sipes that can run the football, he can pass the football? Is it hard to block for him, or is it just fun to block for him?
It's really fun because he looks really good.
Yeah.
And we know that we helped.
Yeah. You have any illegal downfields at all this year? I mean, it's probably tough, right? Yeah.
We've had a couple.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Jonathan, is it fun to block for a guy like that that's athletic? And you guys are obviously – you got to be athletic up there up front if you got a guy back there too, kind of move around. Is it hard or is it fun to do something like that?
It's definitely fun for sure. You know, you never know. With a scramble drill, you know, him just running around back there making a play happen.
You just find a body,
right.
don't you, Jonathan?
Yeah. Got to get a hat on someone. You know?
There you go. That's what you tell them. Just get a hat on them.
Yeah, we do scramble drill every offensive session. Yeah. We do scramble drill, and as you were saying, just making sure the linemen don't go downfield, don't block somebody in the back. Receivers, you got to get running around. If you're deep, you got to get back shallow. If you're shallow, you got to run deep. If you're on the opposite side of the field, you got to get across to the side of the field where Blake can potentially pick you up in his vision. So we try and do that, and it's kind of you want to coach it kind of organized chaos because, like you say, you just don't know what where he's going to pop out and who he's going to see.
Yeah. You know, the Bengals and Giants game last night had a lot of illegal men downfield calls in that ball game, but certainly it's something you got to think about when you got a mobile quarterback back there. Now here we are. We're going into week number 9 right now, and computer points. How much importance do you put on that, Coach? Is it something you even think about? Is it something you mention to your team, or you say, shut up, Tyler, don't even bring it up?
Well, I mean, you look at it. I think the last 2 years we've gone in as a 14 seed, that really puts you behind the 8 ball because you're going to play a pretty darn solid football team. And you're also probably going to have to travel, which we've had to travel 2+ hours the last 2 years. So I think the biggest thing is I don't think that we're in a situation where we're going to be able to get a home game, but definitely if we can win one or both of these games, it's going to help us potentially move up in the seed ranking and get to a position where we got a more realistic matchup.
All right, now, I don't know if you guys know this. I know Will does. I went to Centerburg, so I know – I'm glad you guys haven't thrown a mug at me at this point. Playing for the Fredericktown Trophy. Now, when this call came out, I remember going somewhere, and we had the first inaugural one and everything. How is this almost like the Devil Dog? Is it getting to that point? Are we there yet? And how much importance you put on the Fredericktown Trophy, Coach?
Oh, it's a great rivalry.
Yeah.
And the rivalry, that rivalry's been really big for us. You know, Highland has always been a big rival, so that's a nice way to start out the year. And then the county schools are always big rivals as well. The Centerburg game probably, the last 12, 15 years really started to take on kind of a new place as far as rivalries are concerned, because there was a time there where we were really playing. Both programs were really up. Yeah. We played a lot of really important competitive games against each other, and then of course in 2014 we matched up in the second round of the playoffs.
Yep.
So
at Mount Vernon, right?
Yeah, at Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
So
I was there.
There's just in that kind of 10, 12-year period, it really ratcheted up the intensity of that rivalry. Then when the KMAC came into being and they put what were considered to be those natural rivals at the end of the season, that bumped it up just that little bit more. And then when the trophy was introduced, it was kind of the icing on the cake. It's a cool trophy.
Yeah.
It's just a both the communities and Park Bank
Yeah.
really gets into it, and
Sure.
both communities really buy into it. So it's just been a cool addition to
Who won it last year?
already heated rivalry.
Who won it last
We
year?
did,
You
yeah.
got- so you
In
got
the-
it. Where
in
you
the-
got that sitting?
In the rain. It sits right in the office as you come into the school.
All right.
Yeah.
You can find it when you're in there. How much, Jonathan, do you put on the Fredericktown Trophy? How much is it? Almost like the Devil Dog game? Now you don't like those Trojans, right? I brought you guys here for a reason because, kind of a rivalry thing, but, the following week. But how much emphasis do you put on the Fredericktown Trophy?
Definitely a whole lot. Just one more thing to play for, having an actual trophy.
Yeah.
They introduced it our freshman year. It was the first year they had that trophy.
Okay.
And freshman year, seeing how hard those guys practiced and played for it.
Yeah.
It's just something we're carrying on. And I'd love to bring it home again.
Devin, how big's this thing, man?
It's everything to us. We've dreamed of just keeping it in Fredericktown.
All right.
It just
There you
matters.
go. Well, you guys got a chance here. I want to ask you, Coach, before I let you go, guys. You guys go eat and everything. Against Danville, what are the keys? What do you guys have to do? What do you need to do this week leading into it, and what do you have to do Friday night?
Well, I think the strength of their team is their offensive and defensive line. So we got to be able to get movement. Our offensive line has got to be able to get movement against their defensive front. And then defensively, we got to be able to control our gaps, make sure that our backers are getting involved as well, and that we're really sound tacklers because they've got some really nice backs. They've kind of got a thunder and lightning thing going there this year. Where the one running back he's a physical punishing back, and then they bring in the young freshman, and he's kind of like a jitterbug scat back and very explosive. So we got to be ready for both of those styles. We got to get pressure on the quarterback and not allow him to extend plays because he does a nice job of extending plays as well. But I think it just really comes down to who's going to be the more physical team. And Danville always really prides himself on being physical. So we're going to have to go in there with the mentality that we're going to have to play our most physical game to date this year.
All right, Jonathan, anything you want to tell the fans going to Danville? I will not be driving you. I have no idea how to get there. I'm just kidding. But what do you want to tell the fans, Danville game?
Show up, show out, hostile environment.
Yeah.
Need as many Freddies as we can get in there.
All right, Devin, what do you got to tell them?
We need to be loud because we need to break this streak of them being undefeated at home.
Yeah. All right, you got your chance Friday night. And we're going to be there. WMVO Facebook page. Appreciate these guys joining us here on the program. It's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show presented by Griffin Insurance. And, of course, we're at Pizza Cottage here tonight. Page 1 group with the mugs here. Knox County Veteran Services covers electric, plumbing, and construction as well. All right, we're going to take this break. We'll come back. Centerburg Trojans next on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show from Pizza Cottage, South Main Street in Mount Vernon.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
Filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community, offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel. Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Cottage Electric and Plumbing is a proud sponsor of The Ohio State University.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products is how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 or visit us at 10 East Vine Street.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
Filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
All right, and we welcome you back here to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, presented by Griffin Insurance, also brought to you by Page One Group, Pizza Cottage, Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Knox County Veteran Services. Trevin also has 9 mugs at his house after this, and Andy has 11.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm sure your wife just enjoys that, having all those mugs, a different one every single day.
Yeah. See John doing dishes.
There you go. Yeah, you just keep drinking from the mug.
Cabinet space.
We appreciate you guys joining us here. Centerburg Trojans come off a loss against the Danville Blue Devils, but back at it this Friday night at home, taking on the East Knox Bulldogs. So an opportunity ahead for the Centerburg Trojans this week. Coach, here we are. We're getting ready to enter week number 9, and we always say the season just blows by. It's like it's week 1, it's week 4, and now it's week 9 and things. When you look at your team right now, and you've got some guys that were in some different roles this year, you have different quarterback in there and things. So where do you assess your team? Obviously, we've got a couple of weeks left, but you guys are right in the thick of things right now in terms of the computer points and things. I know we'll talk about that later, but where do you see your team right now entering week number 9?
Yeah, we feel we've been playing pretty well. Even in the games that haven't turned out our way, we've been competitive. And that's kind of been the message to these guys is, if we want to continue to keep playing after week 10, we got to, figure out how to be a little bit more detail oriented when we get in those situations there. And, just like Friday, we had some drives we weren't able to capitalize on, penalties, those kinds of things. And in those kinds of games, those are ultimately what's going to make the difference there. So, but our kids have been playing really well, been playing really hard. So it's going to give us a chance, and which it has, in all the games that we played so far.
Obviously, last week was an important week for a lot of teams. Obviously now Northmore's got to lose some games, and it's, they came close with Mount Kittley there last week, but there was a lot on the line this past Friday night and things, but there's still a lot ahead. I mean, it's not the end of the road for anybody right now. There's a lot in front of you guys and different teams. Where's the biggest growth from your team that you've seen this year, Andy? I mean, as we're towards the end of the year, getting, where computer points are starting to matter now and things. Not that they didn't matter before, but what's been the biggest growth from your team and some of the things maybe here, even though it's week number 9, you want to see some growth from your team?
Yeah, I think I've been really impressed with how they've handled themselves. And in all the games, really, there's always positives and negatives, as you kind of go along there. But I feel they've handled themselves really well. They've been really mature about kind of the situation where we're at, and because of that, we've been able to play really well. And I like the team that we have. I like the fact that they've been getting better, and they've taken the coaching on how to do that. And we just hope to keep continuing to do that and put ourselves in a good position, these next 2 weeks, and then hopefully on after that.
Tommy, what year are you? What year are you in school there?
What year am I? I'm a senior.
Senior year.
Yeah.
All right. What position you play?
I play linebacker.
That's what I thought when I when I saw some of the box score things. What were some of the things that you wanted to do going into this year, some of the things that you wanted to work on? Now here we're 8 weeks. You feel like you've maybe accomplished some of those things?
I feel like I've accomplished some of them, but not all of them.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you were looking to do? Do you want to get a pick six, or what were some of the things you wanted to do?
Just some of the things I was looking to do was just being giving my all out there on the field and just being the best teammate I could be.
Yeah. Trevin has 9 pick sixes this year. No, I'm kidding, but you got to joke with him. But I know you played defensive back and receiver, and I think you're leader in the team and receiving touchdowns here so far this year. When you look at this year and you look at this team, because I know we've talked about some of your goals going into this year already, where do you assess this team as you head into week number 9? You guys are right there in the playoff picture here as you go into week number 9. What do you see as maybe the biggest growth point from your team and some of the things, even though it's the end of the year, you want to work on?
I would say, we've grown a lot and we learned a lot from these losses. Each loss has taught us a lesson. Ontario taught us that we could hang with, bigger schools and better teams. Northmore, we competed well, and they just beat us. In Danville, we know we can't come out weak like that, and we have to learn how to show up and stuff like that. But
Well, Coach, you just heard Trevin kind of mention it too. You guys did. You played a team in Ontario. They're 8-0. They're a good football team, really good football team. Bodpack Miller's going to Ohio State for a reason. He's a good football player. You guys hung with him until the fourth quarter. He had 3 touchdowns. He kind of took over. That's what Division I athletes tend to do. But that game and the Northmore game, and you look at even that game against Danville, very physical as we talked about. You guys are in every single football game, and is this kind of the brand you want with the Centerburg Trojans?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
When you're in those close games, sometimes the experience of being in those games, the more you have of them, the better they're going to be able to adapt to them and overcome, the situations, because it's going to be close.
Yeah.
So you're going to get into critical situations there, and I feel that that's probably the area that needs the most growth in understanding that when you play teams of that caliber, that every play, moment, you don't know when those moments are going to happen, and just those fine details and the small details, are what ultimately is going to get you through. And we've got to do a better job of putting them in a position to succeed, and that's kind of been the focus this week, is to try to put them in the best possible spot to be successful. So, it works on both ends there, but we want to make sure that we give these guys the best chance to be successful as possible.
When you look at a game like that, and when it's a 12-0 game, it's those little things that are they add up, and you make a couple mistakes, and then I know they had a couple of rushing touchdowns. Aiden Burke had one for I think 20 yards out, and maybe Hackman had a 5-yard touchdown run. And that was pretty much it. But you guys obviously had some different things to work on. As you look at the East Knox Bulldogs, you played them at home on Friday night, and I know we're going to talk in depth a little bit more about them. Just initially, what problems do they cause? They got a good running back there, Blake Elliott. You're going to be playing at home. What stands out with this East Knox team?
Yeah, the run game and the physicality. These next, last week and then, these next couple weeks here, that's kind of what we told these kids. It's going to be in your face.
Yeah.
Kind of smash mouth football, almost old school, kind of in a sense. They're just going to line up. They run the same plays. They run the same formation. So you know what you're going to get. You just got to line up and get after it. Really is what it comes down to. So.
Tommy, what's been maybe your favorite moment so far of the year? Here we are, week number 9. You have any favorite moments that you've had so far this year?
No, not really.
Not really. This is what high school kids do to you. Not a big hit. You didn't hit stick somebody?
During the Utica game, I ran somebody over on kickoff.
Okay, there we go. We got something. Trevin, you look at this group, and you guys can run the football. You can, you're on the outside and an option too. This is a team offensively that can really put points on the board. We saw it obviously Friday night. It was a rough and tough game and physical game. What do you guys have to do in those physical games to get points on the board? And you don't have to. It don't have to be pretty in a tough game like that. It don't have to be pretty. What do you guys have to do, East Knox, kind of in that physicality realm going into this week?
I would say, we had our opportunities to score at Danville, and we had 2 goal line interceptions. We had good field position for a lot of those. So it's a matter of finishing the drive, and we just got to finish drives.
Andy Colella with us, Tommy Weaver, Trevin Harris. We thank them for joining us here. We're going to be talking about the rest of the year, and of course, I got to mention computer points. I know you will just love that so much. But it is at a point where it starts to matter, and it's at the end of the year, and it's where those computer points are really going to come into play, and who you beat and who they beat, and it all kind of matters going into the remainder of the year. But we, of course, want to thank Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor for the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Page One Group, Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Knox County Veteran Services, among some of our great sponsors. And, of course, Pizza Cottage here, awesome food, and we appreciate them having us down here for the show. All right, we're going to take this break. We'll come back. More of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show is coming up on WMVO.
Vernon.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel. Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
Cottage Electric and Plumbing is a proud sponsor of The Ohio State University.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products is how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 or visit us at 10 East Vine Street.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
All right, we're back here at Pizza Cottage, and we appreciate you joining us here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We got Coach Andy Colella, Tommy Weaver, and Trevin Harris with us, so we appreciate them spending some time with us here. Coach, we talked about it back in the summer, and it seems like every single year, and I was part of the Mid-Buckeye Conference when I was in school. Not that I was some huge athlete, because I won't be inducted into any athletic hall of fame at Centerburg. But when I was in school, the Mid-Buckeye Conference was a great conference. Yeah. It really was. And then it kind of dispersed because Licking County League came back together. Now the Knoxmore Athletic Conference is becoming a tough conference. And it is that every week, it's not a cliche when you say every week's tough, because it really is. I mean, Mount Gilead, you guys just put up 46 against Mount Gilead. And Northmore barely beat them the other day, and they're undefeated. So there's a lot of talent there. When you look at the KMAC and in preparation of potentially making the playoffs, this can make your team better, right? And kind of almost going through a gauntlet through the regular season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you play in a league like that, and you schedule some out-of-conference games that, they may not turn out the way that you want them to turn out.
Yeah.
But like Trevin said before, I mean, there's lessons in there, and the hope is that you get better from them, and then at the end of the year, you able to utilize those lessons and, turn that into playing some good football. I think sometimes, everybody wants to won them all and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, we're no different, but sometimes you have to go through some of that stuff to figure out like who you really are.
Yeah.
And maybe what your weaknesses are.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of hone in on those and work to make those better as you get into these critical moments in the season.
I think there was one year you guys maybe lost to Utica early in the year, and then you guys like turned the page, and it was almost like you guys were a different team.
Yeah.
And it was the beginning of the year, you lose to Utica, and it's like, okay, let's reassess what we're doing. And you guys ended up turning the page and having a really successful season. So those kind of losses, like you say, can be very beneficial. You never want to lose, but very beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. You have that scenario, and you guys were talking about the 2014 playoff game.
That was fun.
Fredericktown. We had lost to them maybe week 7 in the regular season that year, and we were 8-2. But that taught us really a lot about what we had as a team and moving forward, and we were able to finish off that year in the regular season with a couple wins, and then we were able to win a couple times in the playoffs there. So in those situations, it helps you tremendously to figure out kind of who you are and kind of what you're all about. So that's our hope for what we have going on here.
Tommy, you look at it, do you feel like your team's, I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing to even ask at week number 9, like you have an identity, but like you guys feeling like, hey, we're pushing the right buttons, even though you lost 12-0 against a good Danville team on the road in a physical game, that, hey, we're pushing the right buttons, we can win some football games here down the stretch.
Yeah, I feel like we're a good team. I feel like we could definitely win more games after week 10, but it's just like the little details that we have to get down, like during practice and stuff.
And those games, those practices leading up to it, then you get underneath the Friday Night Lights, and almost like you told me you're already a pattern. You did it all week long, and now it's, hey, just repetition and things. Trevin, you look at this upcoming stretch as we were talking about, and just the expectations going into it. When you look at the postseason, is this something you think about? Is that one of your goals that, hey, I want to make it to the postseason. I want to get a chance to – you're probably not going to be able to play at home at this point, possibly, depending on what happens these last couple of weeks. But just get into the postseason and kind of see what happens?
We talk about that stuff all the time, especially in the beginning of the year. There's only been 3 Centerburg schools in history that won a playoff game. So, we have a good chance, to be, make Centerburg history, top, be the 4th team to do it. So that's one of our goals. You play football, to go win playoff games and stuff like that. So
you guys have an opportunity here. And, Coach, that's all you can ask for. You get to the end of the year, and, it's going to be tough. That was almost kind of an elimination-type game last week in the conference. Not completely, because you're not out of it completely, but you have to have some things go right. But despite that, these are big games, and that's what you want at the end of the year, playing important, meaningful games here in weeks 9 and 10, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what you work for. That's what these guys have worked for. We talk about that frequently as well. If you put in the work, you're going to put yourself in situations where you are playing meaningful football games, and not everybody gets to do that. We've been spoiled, I think, for quite a while in that department, where we have played a lot of meaningful football games. And sometimes you take that for granted, but you got to kind of focus back in and just realize kind of what's going on and make sure that these guys have fun with it, because it's supposed to be fun. And like playing at home this week and the next against Fredericktown the week after that, man, that's kind of what you put in all the work for. These guys grow up wanting to do that, so we got to make sure that we have fun while we're doing it, and also be successful at the same time.
Tommy, Freddie Berg Trophy. How much does that mean for you?
It means a lot to get it back.
You get it back. Bring it back. It's Sparta Road to 314.
Yeah.
You bring it back to Centerburg.
I was just thinking about it. The home team has won, I think, the 3 years. I think we've had it 3 years.
Yeah.
The home team's won every time, so hopefully we can keep
All right,
that
there we
trend
go.
going. Yeah.
Get it in the Berg. Trevin, how important is that Freddie Berg Trophy, man? It's kind of always been that way at Centerburg. Danville, at times, you guys have played so many close games, almost, I wouldn't say complete rivalry, but boy, it's become quite the matchup between you guys. And obviously, we saw it last week too. So
yeah, I think all the Knox County schools, in the KMAC, we all have kind of our. There's been some great battles, with all of them over the years, and got some really good coaches, as leading those programs there. So it's been really fun.
Yeah. Tommy, what do you tell the fans coming out Friday night? Put your blankets down on Tuesday, apparently. I cannot. That's for you, Rich. I got to tease you a little bit. But what do you want to tell the fans as they get ready for another week of football at home?
be there. Everybody would be there.
Be there. Bring a horn,
Yeah.
East Knox is going to have that dang horn.
That might cause Rich some problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have one over there. You might as well have a horn.
Oh, yeah.
A little
Well,
back and forth. That could really cause some problems.
If that's the case. Then.
Yeah, that could really cause some problems. So, Sherman, what are you going to tell the fans, Ben?
Just come out and support. It's always nice having you guys out there.
Yeah. These guys have obviously meant a lot to this group. And, you guys are here. Like you mentioned, how important it is, has their play been to you guys having this opportunity here at the end of the year?
Yeah, it's been really important.
Yeah.
Your seniors are going to drive, what goes on and how the year's going to go. And they've done an excellent job with that and really bought in, to kind of how we want to do things. And, when you have guys that do that and then also spread that same message, you're going to give yourself a really good chance. And they've done a great job with that.
We appreciate you guys joining us here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show at Pizza Cottage. Best of luck. Centerburg Trojans taking on the East Knox Bulldogs Friday night. What are your keys? Give me 2 keys to win.
Well, we can't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
We had way too many penalties last week.
Yeah.
But as we've said at the beginning of the year, if you want to win meaningful football games, you got to be able to run the football.
Yep.
And you got to be able to stop the run.
Yep.
And on top of those other things that we mentioned, we were not able to do that last week.
Yeah.
We weren't able to run the football very successfully, and we weren't able to stop the run. So that's kind of over the weekend, trying to figure out some different things to do to help these guys out in that department, and that's kind of what our focus has been this week, or will be.
All right. Centerburg Trojans, East Knox Bulldogs in Centerburg, the heart of Ohio, this upcoming Friday night, and we appreciate these guys joining us here on the program. And, of course, we want to thank all of our great sponsors, Page One Group, Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Knox County Veteran Services, of course, Pizza Cottage, and certainly appreciate all those who have brought this show to you. And Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Thanks again, guys, for joining us here, Centerburg Trojans here, and also thanks to Will Hartley and the Fredericktown Freddies for joining us on the program. Going to be back at it next week at 7 o'clock, and this Friday night, don't forget, we've got a doubleheader once again for you, and so hopefully you join us for the ball games in Centerburg and East Knox, Danville, and Fredericktown here on WMVO. Thanks for joining us from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel. Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
Cottage Electric and Plumbing is a proud sponsor of The Ohio State University.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products is how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 or visit us at 10 East Vine Street.